Test, test, test. All right, let's do this. Okay, I think that we are in fact live, so let's go for it. The very next thing that I absolutely need to do is probably dump all my materia and start over. So you know, while we're sitting here, the first thing we're gonna do is kind of rethink the positioning of. So who are we going with? Barret, Aerith, and Cloud right now. So the very first thing, I would like Cloud to have poison, and I think I'm going to put Elemental because we don't encounter other enemies who are, you know, who will absorb poison again for a while. And I also think I'd like to give Cloud all Restore. Actually going back to Cloud, we are also going to give him Heal because unofficially I'm kind of using Cloud as my healer. So I am going to give Aerith all Ice, I think. No, actually Lightning, because if I recall correctly, one of the big group enemies that we encounter in the Mithril Mine where we're headed are will absorb Ice. We're going to give her enemy skill. Since Aerith is really a good one to think about giving your enemy skill to, because the enemy skill materia doesn't affect their HP the way that some others do, and we're just gonna give Barret like a whole shitload of offensive materia. We'll give him fire all and another sense materia. Actually, no, we're gonna give him cover so that he can protect Aerith. And we're actually going to move Barret into the back row to even bring that further home. If we're going to use him as a tank, we're going to protect him as much as possible. So the very next thing that I need to do, since we're kind of circling Midgar, and, you know, if this is something that you've not played in the past, one thing that might be kind of fun to pay attention to is just kind of the scale of everything, because we just left a city, like an enormous city, probably the largest city in this game, and Cloud is... you know, most of the buildings are going to be waist high for him. So, you know, it's almost kind of got like this sort of dollhouse feel to the world map, but just the existence of a world map at all is honestly, you know, kind of innovative at this point, I suppose, since we're talking about the PS1. And these guys just don't do anything for me, unfortunately. What happened earlier when I was playing, which I got to make a piece of advice to any early morning streamers, I suppose, that make sure you eat breakfast before you jump on, because that was what caused me to cut it short this morning. I was only on for about an hour because I just got to be so hungry that I could tell that I was getting frustrated with the game. And it's like, okay, I'm getting hangry, and that does not make for good content, so let's not do that. But earlier, I did encounter the enemy I am in fact looking for, and did not have the enemy skill materia equipped at the time to learn the skill from him, and that really very much took a lot of wind out of my sails this morning. So I said we'd come back for it, so here we are. I mean, luckily none of these enemies that are the really super common ones around Midgar are super hard. This is just going to be frustrating, because what I'm looking for is, I believe the name of the enemy is the Master Sweeper. I will be completely honest, when we get to it, it looks a bit like a KitchenAid artisan mixer is what it looks like. If I'm remembering what this enemy looks like. To me, early this morning, I suppose when I was hungry, it looked like a KitchenAid artisan mixer. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, if you ever made cookies with your grandma at Christmas and she had a big stand mixer with a bowl, that's what a KitchenAid artisan mixer is. Can I get around Midgar without trying to re-enter Midgar this way? Because it's going to be just way easier for my brain if I can go in a round circle. There he is. See, KitchenAid Artisan Mixer. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so we got to keep ourselves alive for a few minutes because we need these guys to use this spell on us. And here it goes. And the great thing about that spell is that we just learned it, so we can take it for our very own and use it on other enemies now. For 10 MP, we get a very nice, you know, all spell that hits everybody. And then after this, we're going to go catch a chocobo. That's on the agenda for this evening. But we really had to go back and do what I like to call Final Fantasy VII administrative work and go get that enemy skill before we moved on, because it is extremely useful. We will be using the hell out of it, especially where we're headed, because Mantra Magic, the spell we just learned, is really, really useful against large groups of enemies. So I'm just making sure that we're I'm making sure that we're actually live. If there is anybody watching, if you could let me know if you're able to hear the audio from the game, because I think you can. But what is causing me concern is that when I go to pull up my recordings on YouTube, I am not hearing the game. I am only hearing my voice, but my audio is recorded on 2 different tracks, so I can normalize it when I edit it. Because right now, you know, most of my viewers are watching a recorded version. They're not tuning in for the stream, so it's just fine. I'm paying my dues, you know, all that stuff. You know, you want somebody to devote an hour or 2 of time to you. You have to kind of earn that, and I get that. But I'm concerned that live the audio is not coming through from the game. So if somebody tunes in and could let me know. Because I know the final recorded version, you're definitely going to be able to hear it, because it shows up as 2 separate tracks in Premiere when I go in to edit it. And yes, I know it's very extra that I'm editing, you know, game streams on Premiere. Like, go big or go home. I build lots and lots of assets in Premiere. Okay, we're almost to the Chocobo Ranch, and we're gonna go fight some green onions. Maybe I'm still hungry. I feel like I talk about food on my streams a lot. Like, there's a lot of enemies that get compared to snacks. I'm just saying. You know, the nature of my stream prep is, it makes sense that I talk about food. And that's all I've got to say about that. Scoot my stream deck over here so I don't have to like lean way over every time I need to mute my mic or throw the Tunberry up. The synthwave Tunberry of censorship. Well, a very, very work to you too, sir. Which one of these is the right answer? I think it's just regular work. They're so cute. They're so synchronized. Like, you imagine the amount of training that it must take to get your chocobos to dance in unison like that. I'm deeply impressed. And they give me a materia. A really cool materia that we will see in action very shortly. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on Aerith because she's really the only one who's got room for it. Oh, you know what? I've got a better weapon for Barrett that I haven't put on him yet. Actually, I think I've got better weapons for just about everybody. Not for her. Okay, so we got more materia slots. We got more hitting power. Can't complain. Not gonna. Okay. Yeah, I sure am. I want to go get me some snake sushi. Those who watch my shorts know what I'm talking about. And I told myself that I was going to have to really buck up and please subscribe if you like what you're seeing, because I stream a couple times a week. A Sunday morning always, and then at least 1 or 2 other evenings a week, and I release as many shorts as I get from those streams a week. It's, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 a day. Little short ones, don't demand a lot of your time, might give you a little chuckle in the middle of the day. That's all I'm trying to offer you. There was a man in a black cape coming across the marshes, and you can spend the night here, and we're going to go ahead and do that for 100 gil, because that is a steal. You know how much a tent costs? 500 gil. A bargain. Okay. Out we go. And we're going to go talk to his other chocobo family in the barn. Well, howdy, partner. I sure do. Give me one. He's not going to give me one. You old folks are out of luck. I think the oldest person in the team is Barrett, and Barrett's like 35. Shut up. Well, no, technically Red 13 is like in his 40s, but his species doesn't age the way we do. It's like a Diet Grogu sort of situation, so Red 13 is not actually the equivalent of a 48-year-old human. I sure do. How do I catch one? We don't have to listen to this. I'll show you. And then... Okay, I have to tell him I'm not interested. It seems so rude to say not interested. Like, this is the kind of person you're dealing with right now. Like, I totally was the person who was afraid of upsetting her Animal Crossing villagers by being mean to them and would feel bad about it. So yes, I'm worried about being rude to Choco Billy. Maybe he won't let me have any Choco tacos when I come by for dinner later. There's like a whole bunch of lore associated with Choco Billy and Choco Chloe, who is misspelled as Chol. I refuse to believe that anybody named that character Chol. She's almost certainly Chloe with a typo. I did buy it. Okay. Oh. See what happens when you don't pay attention? How much gil do I have? We're gonna fight some more. Time to go grind. I mean, how many more fights can that be? Plus, we're gonna have to buy green, so we probably should get up to, you know, maybe 2,500, 3,000, something like that. I kind of like these guys anyway. Let's bio him. We have a brand spanking new summon we can use. And we've already softened this guy up. I'm not going to waste it on him. But and I guess the good news is that if we go out here and we grind to try to make some money and our health gets too low, we'll just go back to the ranch and spend 100 of it to sleep in their barn. The beach enemies are always kind of more fun. I like the color palette better. Double your alpha dunk, double your fun. Let's summon the chocobo. So this is actually 2 spells in one. About once every, you know, 10 or so times you get Fat Chocobo, but most of the time it's a Moogle riding on a Chocobo, and it is adorable. He's in a big hurry. He's very determined. He's the best racer there is. I keep that one around way after the damage becomes, you know, not the greatest, because it does occasionally it does occasionally cast stop on your enemies, which can be very, very useful, because there's quite a few enemies in the game that are not susceptible to a lot of status effects, but you will be able to stop them. Okay, yeah, we got the 2000 now. I mean, look, I'm actually quite pleased to find out that the enemies around here drop a decent amount of gil. And I'm sure probably with good reason. The game is kind of throwing us a bone here because they know that we can't proceed until we buy that Chocobo lore. Who wants to participate in the Emu War? And we just learned another enemy skill that is completely useless that you will never see me use. Ever. Ever, ever. There is no reason to use level 4 suicide, and any enemies that you fight that have a level of 4 are going to be immune to that anyway, so it's just a whole bunch of foolishness trying to... You know what? If you want to do math in an RPG, go play Final Fantasy Tactics. You will have way more fun than trying to play the L4 suicide game. Hey, you know what? I'm down for dealing with dandruff by decapitation. Let's throw Barrett's Limit Break at these squirrels. Why not? All right. How much money do we have now? Oh, yeah, that's enough to buy, you know, a couple of pumpkins or whatever the hell it is that we have to buy. They're vegetables. I don't know why. I mean, I suppose I do know why, but they don't have normal vegetable names, but almost everything you throw out is a recognizable earth vegetable. I would like to buy it, please. I have enough money now, and I need to buy greens. I guess that's what kind we're buying. So the next thing you do is you go and you equip your Chocobo lure materia. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that on Barrett because it doesn't really matter who we put it on. And then the other thing we're going to do is arrange, customize, and we're going to go find those greens and put them way up top. So that way, when we pull up our battle menu, we don't have to go scrolling for 10 minutes because the Chocobo will lose interest very, very quickly. I do actually need to do some configuration stuff, so I need to slow down my field messages because I'm a bit of a speed reader, and I realize that the speed at which I go through the boxes is a little obnoxious. And we are going to wait on the ATB. I usually prefer that anyway, just because I'm not playing this game for action. If I wanted something that I was going to have to sit up and pay attention, I'd go play something else. This is turn-based, and this is my chill playthrough, and I'm going to keep my ATB on wait. If you want high action, throw it on 3 times speed and put the ATB on. Play your way. Don't play my way. Because if you were just going to play my way, you should just, you know, watch me and not play at all. Okay, so we are going to give this wonderful young Chocobo a... well, Aerith really can't help me much. So... hopefully we catch this thing the first time and we don't have to do this again. You want to be really careful that, about who you target with this one, because the problem is if you kill one enemy and then you're not paying attention, you're going to act, because you don't want to attack the chocobo if that's not abundantly clear. Like, if you attack him, he'll get pissed off and run away and you won't get to ride him. So we are just okay, we're gonna use bio on this one again. And then whenever Aerith gets another turn, we're gonna give the chocobo more vegetables, because, oh crap. Alright, Don't run away, don't run away, don't run away, die, please, die! Okay, oh, thank God. I did not want to have to do that again. That would be embarrassing, right? I mean, not that I haven't done plenty of embarrassing stuff on this very stream, probably this very day. You know, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm perfect at this game. You're gonna mess up when you play it. Okay. See that snake out there in the water? We really don't want to interact with him. So the best way to avoid interacting with him is to come over here and try to get him to come over. Try to lure him over. We're going to walk around. Here he comes. Well, sort of. I'm going to try to get him to come over here. And then I'm just going to enter at a different point. Okay. And we're just going to come right on over here. And you know, at this moment, I could go and try and fight the Midgarzolem, and I don't know. It's not like I've never tried that since I really don't think that we can survive a fight with the Midgarzolem at this point. I truly, truly don't. But you know who can? Sephiroth. In fact, he did. So this kind of like just sort of scales up the power that he's now at. I mean, this is a snake that our team would be almost instantly and certainly decimated by. It is massive, and he took that thing down by himself. You remember what I said about that Matra magic being super useful? Kind of something about the way your limit breaks grow in this game is that most of the characters, there's one exception, two exceptions to working exactly this way for this character. So as far as most of your characters, the limit breaks, you get 2 per level except for the 4th level. So you have 2 level 1 limit breaks, 2 level 2s, 2 level 3s, 1 level 4. So to get from the first limit level, so your number 1 of your 2 level 1 limit breaks, to get the second one, you have to use the first one 8 times. So Cloud now has Cross Slash. Barret now has Mind Blow. To get the next level of limit break, the first of the 2 level 2 limit breaks, and this will make more sense when I show you, you have to kill a total of 80 enemies, and that is per character. And one thing that does make difficult is for a character like Aerith, who, for instance, her limit breaks are not offensive based. She tends to kill a lot less enemies than, say, Barret. Characters who have limit breaks that don't attack the entire group can have that problem. But about the time that the game would naturally have you progress toward having your level 2 limit break, this is about that time, you start seeing larger groups of enemies to kind of try to give you a little bit of a boost to get to where the game feels that you should be, basically. That was pretty nice. And yeah, if we're doing 258 on Braver, we have no business going anywhere near that Midgarzolem right now. That thing is able to do like 2,000 damage in one shot. I don't remember what's up here. I mean, I think it's a materia or something. Like, I don't think that we're moving on to another room when we go up here. No, it's a materia. Long range materia. So what we are actually going to in fact do is put that on Cloud. So we can just move everybody in the back row. Because Aerith kind of lives in the back row anyway. Because Aerith is not a physical attack character. You can move her up front and make a run at it, but she's not built for that. I mean, technically, you can take a Honda Civic off-road. It does not make it an SUV. That's what you'd be doing with if you try to make it so that Aerith is a physical attack character. She just doesn't do it particularly well. You're always going to be a little bit deficient if you're trying to move Aerith into the front row and trying to make her hit stuff. I'm almost starting to wonder if I might be allergic to something that's in this band that my headphones is on, because like every time I put my headphones on, my head itches. I think I may just have to break down and get a pair of regular AirPods, like the ones that go in your ear. Even though I'm not a huge fan of in the ear. Because also these headphones, it makes it real difficult to figure out how I'm going to do my hair on a superficial level. We should have quite a few sources at this point. My policy with getting sources from enemies is that I usually apply them to Cloud whenever possible. We are going to use a hyper on Aerith to get her out of sadness, because that's not helping her limit break situation whatsoever. I don't think these guys absorb fire. We're about to find out. Did we make a mistake? No. Okay, good. You know, when I was younger, I always thought Quake was a really cool spell, and I never find myself using it very much because it's ground-based magic, so you can't use it on anything that flies, anything that floats, basically anything that, for understandable reasons, a ground spell, anything that's not touching said ground is not going to be damaged by it. And we meet up with the Turks again, and actually, in fact, meet more Turks than we've met in the past. Because I think up until this point, we've only met Reno, the red spiky-haired one. And this is now Rude and Elena.
I'm not interested in who you are.
It's Pitbull, everybody. It's Mr. Worldwide. Basically, the simplest way I have of explaining who the Turks are is they're almost kind of like what you think of when you think like the Men in Black, like the CIA, the back in the day. Like they're kind of like a secret. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of a group that like the KGB or something. They're like the government's dirty work crew. And another Turk, Sung, who knows Aerith from when she was a child. From when she was living at the Shinra building, being researched with her mother. The Turks are kind of a low-stakes enemy. The best... I've compared the Turks to Team Rocket before, and they are kind of like a less corny Team Rocket. Like, there's not really usually a whole lot of, like they're bad guys. Like, don't get me wrong, we get into fights with them. We're not friends, so to speak, most of the time. But the Turks just feel lower stakes when, like, Rufus shows up. You just kind of get the impression that the Turks are just sort of doing a job and they know it's a dirty job and they don't really care. It's not really any more complicated than that for them, I don't think. Yeah, see, he knows Aerith. Sung's got a crush on her, we find out later. I think there's one more room in here we have to get to. I kind of like these little pink guys with the swingy... The weapon that they're swinging, the ball. I was about to say something that would have made for a very embarrassing soundbite, and you ain't gonna get me that easy. Some of these enemies, though, you kind of can't help but compare them to things that, you know, the censors might not care for. I promise to stop with the chocolate, both for your sake and my sake. You don't want to listen to me eat it, and I don't want to be eating it at all. I'm really kind of disappointed in Red Bull not like coming out with some more interesting flavors, because Juneberry, that's innovative. I mean, I don't really know what I don't really know what a Juneberry is. Like, there's nothing impressive about this. Like, it just kind of tastes sort of blueberry, but not as good. Like, if you would have handed that to me and told me it was blueberry, I would have been like, all right, it's fine. And I've been debating since I decided to hop back on whether or not I wanted to go to Fort Condor. And the truth is, I don't. I never really want to go to Fort Condor. Wouldn't it be crazy if we met Yuffie right now? That is the next thing we're doing. We're going to go try and find Yuffie, since we're... Yuffie is available to you when you first start seeing forests. You really don't want to miss out on Yuffie. She's optional, but she's not optional. I like these guys, though. I like the little vine guys with their little purple spikes. Like, they're kind of a cool enemy. Although I gotta say, they're not very Final Fantasy to me. Like, they kind of feel almost more like a Super Mario type of enemy. At this point, I really don't. Oh my! That was too close for comfort. Yeah, we don't care for that very much. Burn your ass up. Goodbye. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use a cure again. Well, maybe not. I think I still have a bunch of tents that I bought back in Midgar that I've never actually ended up using. We are accumulating gil quite nicely during this little expedition. So the first time you start seeing patches of forest, you can start looking for Yuffie. The deal with Yuffie is you meet her, you fight her, you have to, you know, select a certain couple options in conversations with her. And she joins your party. Okay, Cloud, how about you lay another cure on us? How about that? Crap. Aerith just got a limit break, so we're gonna save that. Burn, baby, burn. Burn. No, I need you to burn more than that. Burn brighter. Go away. I'm trying to find a certain ninja in these woods and you are not it. Aerith's weapon at the moment kind of looks like a hockey stick that's been bent out of shape, and now I can't unsee it. I mean, it's very like spade shaped at the end. Like it I don't know. It's strange looking. A lot of the weapons in this game are kind of strange looking. Cloud and at times Yuffie are really the only ones that you get like the cool looking weapons. Like Yuffie's actually got some really neat ones. It's just yeah, we might as well. Yeah, Cloud could use it, so I'm kind of glad I decided to go ahead and use up Aerith's limit break. The other two don't. I don't know why they're going after Cloud so hard. And I think my plans right now are to hang out on here until about 9 o'clock, because I'm going to log off here and watch the new episode of Euphoria, because that show is a train wreck of the highest order right now, and I feel bad about it. Like, at this point, it is quite literally the definition of a guilty pleasure, but I freaking love that show at this point. It is so fun. Like, I want to see what other wild party shit happens. Like, I'm living vicariously. I was a fairly... I didn't get that wild when I was younger. Like, I had my moments, but, you know... Sometimes I like to live vicariously and maybe implant somebody else's memories for a little while. I don't have the trauma associated with it. Okay, I really, didn't plan ahead well enough that I don't have any popcorn for later. Man, I gotta start keeping microwave popcorn in stock. And we just got Aerith's second limit break, so that's great. Seal Evil, which is kind of useful. Like, you don't end up getting to really explore Aerith's unique limit breaks very much, because there's something that really take a long time to accumulate. And there's... I don't know, if you end up watching this, tell me on future playthroughs whether or not the major spoiler point of this game is something that I need to be concerned about sharing, because I don't know, like, I feel like it's... There are pieces of media that are younger than this one that it's kind of a generally accepted fact that we all just kind of know what the big plot twist in this game is. Has Final Fantasy VII reached the Sixth Sense zone that I can just say Bruce Willis was dead the whole time? Oh. Please share your outrage with me if I just messed your life up by saying that. I'm so sorry. I really have never cared about spoilers that much, so maybe I don't really get it. Like, I'm not big on surprises in general. But yeah, I mean, I will totally read the synopsis of a movie before I watch it, to see if it's something I really want to invest the time in or not. Like, is that really what I'm not investing my plot twist in that to find out it was all a dream at the end. No, thank you. Like, I won't read like every little detail that happens. I'll read the synopsis of a movie before I watch it to find out whether it's something I can handle or not. Which there have been. There's a lot of movies that I'll read, and at least it makes me feel prepared for it. Like, I'll watch it anyway, and it would have upset me a lot more if I didn't know about it going in. Like, Midsummer was a movie that I read a synopsis of because I just wanted to know what I was in for, and I ended up watching it anyway, which... That is a deeply upsetting movie on a lot of levels. Like, every level that a movie can be upsetting, Midsummer is upsetting. Like, Ari Aster is really, really swinging for the fences with that one, trying to be Lars von Trier in terms of disturbing. Yeah, you know what? I will just say for the record that, if you want to tune in live, I am... And you are... like me, a scholar of weird indie cinema and old video games, we're going to get along just fine. I am perfectly fine talking about that if you want to talk about it. I don't want to sit here and expound about this stuff, thinking I'm going to turn people off, because that's a little little high level for some people. And I get it. Like, you know, just because you're intelligent doesn't mean you have to consume intelligent content all the time or sound intelligent all the time. And I think we miss out on that. Like, we all as a people need to just embrace, like, it's okay to sound stupid sometimes. Even if you're smart, you don't have to prove how smart you are all the time. You can just relax and be dumb. It's all right. Everybody needs to be dumb sometimes. I'm in a very ranty mood. I think it's the Red Bull. Like, I must have had just kind of a rough night last night. I think this might be Yuffie. It didn't take that long this time either. Yay, yay, yay. So, you know, we're just going to throw everything we got at her because there ain't no shame in that's how this is supposed to work. We are supposed to defeat her. So we're going to. I could have used Seal Evil on her, really. I didn't really need the healing. But that's the nice thing about having Aerith in your party is you don't ever have to worry about really being able to heal your party, especially if you keep her in the back row as she's designed to be. Okay, and we want to do not use a save spot. Okay, we're gonna go talk to her. Man, I can't believe I lost. Okay. You don't want to fight her. And the mentality is you don't want to fight her because you're scared of her. Go talk to her again. Come on, what's the matter? I sure am. I am petrified. I think I'm supposed to say, wait a second. I'm doing this from memory, and I really hope it is. That's right. You just have to be honest with her. I mean, really, there's not a lot of trick with this. I mean, but I mean, obviously, if you miss any of these, she will either steal some of your shit and run away, or she will fight you again and run away, and you have to look for her all over again. And I've done that before. This is the only trick one. Don't ask her name. Run away and she'll tell you it anyway. And do not use the save spot. That is contrary to everything I've taught you, but do not, in this instance, the one and only instance, do not use that save spot. My finger looks really weird. Alright, we're going with Yuffie Classic. As we are with all the other characters. You know what? I'm not making any guarantees about Kateseth. I might name him after my kitty cat. He might get named Niblet this time as he has in the past. And I'm sure when I say Niblet, you're picturing a, you know, maybe a little orange cat. No, this is 18 pounds of fluffy black separation anxiety is what Niblet is. He's probably currently outside the door of the room I'm in, losing his mind because he can't get in here. And do you know why he's not in here? Because if he was, he would be up on the desk showing you his full government identification, if you know what I mean. Like, he will show you his unique fingerprint on his butt. Well, now this is rare. We almost never have anybody but Shinra people visit this town. I don't really think that they'll let us do much of anything here yet. Let's see what we got. Nothing I want. If you need mithril armlets at this point, you're doing worse than I am. Oops. You know, they really shouldn't have the exit that close to the where you go into that building. What's in here? Nothing. I really, if I recall correctly, about the only thing that you can really do prior to going down to the dock is maybe go to that little weapons store. We are about to fight a boss, a kind of a tough one, actually, so... You know, I don't think I've ever actually gone in here and seen what Priscilla's house looks like. It's so cute! It looks like an animal house. It looks like a house from Animal Crossing! Yeah, apparently the little beach girl lives there by herself, and that's what her house looks like. She's got all this pink cutesy-wootsy stuff in her little treehouse. I'm kind of honestly jealous of Priscilla now. And we're about to go meet Priscilla. And Mr. Dolphin, too. Mr. Dolphin, who looks like he's 3D printed. He looks like one of those little articulate, you know, like one of these guys. See?
Hi, hello, it's me.
The more you get out in the world, the more you really learn what the basic regular people's opinion of the Shinra are. They're just... They kind of just make everything a little bit worse. And we get into this nasty boss battle to protect Priscilla and Mr. Dolphin. This is going to be pretty rough. I think we're prepared, but it's going to be pretty rough. Really, the name of the game with this boss fight is just keep yourself healed up well enough. Oh boy, this is going to be hard. This might be the point where we hit the wall, and I may not have enough. When I did my Twitch playthrough, I ended up having to spend one afternoon and kind of grind a little bit offline just to get caught up. Because, I mean, typically, if you were doing this playthrough by yourself in your own home without an audience and without having to worry about it being entertaining for anybody else, you are going to probably want to spend, you know, 15, 30 minutes here and there running around the open field and getting into random fights. That's the only way your strength will increase, really. It's the old-fashioned way. There's really no way around it. He does use a pretty valuable enemy skill on us, but what I'm concerned about at this point is I am not certain we can survive it being used on us, because typically it does around 700 damage, and we don't have 700 to get damaged with. So this could be kind of interesting, and we have no barriers, because that's not something that's been introduced to our characters yet. We have not encountered any way to be able to use barrier of any kind. So we're just going by with what we've got. I don't know exactly how much HP this thing has got. I didn't look beforehand. I have a little checklist that I'm working off of just to make sure that you know, I don't miss anything. An instrumental reason why I decided to start over when I got over to YouTube was that I had missed a materia in the Geek Cave that I is like my favorite materia in the game, and I was starting to get really, really upset about it. So, plus, you know, this is all a learning experience. I only learned how to use OBS like 2 months ago, and it was just supposed to be a kicks and giggles kind of thing. You know, I've been making YouTube videos for about 8 years, but I don't do gaming content. Traditionally, my main YouTube channel, I make videos about dead malls, and that content has gotten to be beyond my ability to produce at the volume that YouTube is going to want me to produce it at, to be able to let the algorithm to let people see my videos. I've been at it for a while, you know, with varying levels of frequency, because the problem is that to film malls, you have to actually go there, and it costs money to go there. And I live in a fairly rural area of Appalachia, and the closest mall that was on my list to visit is 5 hours away. I don't have the time off to work with for that. I don't have the money for that. Like, I needed to, you know, I wanted to do something creative that didn't involve me having to leave the house. So what are we going to do? I started with my favorite video game of all time. Now, this is a great mini game, and I'm sorry that I went off on a tangent. Like, I do that a lot, but we're going to be spending a lot of time together. Yes, Cloud. She is just a girl, and contrary to the rumors that you heard, she doesn't have cooties. It's okay. I think my biggest question for all of this is, this man goes through great pains to explain to Cloud that he needs to give this girl mouth to mouth, and explains to her how to do it. Why is he not the one doing it? Like, he lives in this town. He knows this little girl. It's probably less weird for him to do it. Like, I don't understand. The setup for mini games and the setup for side quests in video games are often very contrived. All right. Okay. So you can press Y. You literally press it once, and Cloud starts to inhale, and that bar goes up. And you can get it almost completely even with the top, but you have to hit Y again to get him to exhale before it overflows and he has to let it out without getting to use it. Now, typically it only takes... You gotta only hit Y once. Don't be like me. Don't think that the button didn't work. It worked. And if it didn't work, you need to get a new controller. But yeah, you can let it go all the way up, and that's a little confusing because of the way the diagram, because we kind of associate with red as being like in the danger zone. So if you get it to red, it's obviously that's not doing it right, right? And go all the way up to the tippy top. Come on, Priscilla. Wake up, honey. It's time for school. Crap. Don't be like me. Just don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm here to show you an example of how frustrating it can be if you don't do things the way the game wants you to do. Like, do you see how frustrating this is? You don't want to do that. Only hit the button once. Hitting the button once. See? You see how easy that was? You see how much easier that would have been if I hadn't messed it up twice? If you ever really, really wanted to get tanked really fast, you could do a Final Fantasy VII drinking game where you do a shot every time you see somebody say, hey, hey. You'll have alcohol poisoning before you get out of the first disc. Don't do that. In fact, I would recommend you don't drink at all, but if you're going to do it anyway, and you want to play a drinking game, I can think of worse ones. Sorry, Cloud. Priscilla needs to rest for a while. Oh, that's right. I have to go talk to the other person. The lady with the bun, I guess. Is that supposed to be a bun or a hat, you suppose? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a bun that she's got like a little, you know, a little barrette or something. We get to heal up. That's a nice reward. Make myself at home? You mean you want me to organize all your socks by color and size? Why'd I say that? You know what? We don't get in any fights again for a while. I'm all over the place. I'm just the fun kind of all over the place instead of the depressing kind of all over the place that I was this morning because I was hungry. I think I have to spend the night. Yeah, you have to sleep because you wake up the next morning and the Shinra army music is playing because they're going to have a parade. Who could be speaking to Cloud in his sleep? Tifa knows that there's something that doesn't add up about Cloud's version of the story. She knows that his memories are a little scattered and a little scrambled. But she hasn't quite let on that she knows this. And she hasn't shared her version of these memories because she senses, and probably correctly so, that Cloud's a little too fragile to handle that at this point. But it will come out later. And here comes Priscilla to give us a present. Actually, a really good present. I don't know where she got it. I wasn't paying attention because I was complaining about making videos about malls, and I apologize for that. But did he end up using Aqualung on us? I'll look. No, I learned through my last playthrough that you actually get 4 enemy skill materias throughout the course of the game. Yeah, they literally came in and the Junon was a little fishing village and Shinra built a big shiny big city on top of them. I don't know what their obsession is with like building cities on top of cities. It just feels very, I mean, I guess that's a way of conveying how evil they are, that they're literally going to put themselves above you. No, I sure didn't. Mr. Dolphin's gonna get us up there. It's actually really funny. It's not very difficult either, because there's a trick to it. The game makes it easy for you. You just gotta not think about it too much. How do you figure, Tifa? Well, it's a high voltage tower. I guess this means Cloud's gotta do it. Thanks, Tifa. Thank you. I won't have to explain my complicated memories if he's electrocuted. Aerith, honestly, I'm surprised at you and disappointed. All of you are just awful people. All of you suck. And you know what? When I get up top, and I have my dolphin. None of you are allowed to come visit me. Well, I guess I can't see whether my enemy skill... Because Aerith's not in my party right now, and they can all off right now. Sorry. We're gonna bleep that in the version that gets released. Alright, Priscilla, let's see what Mr. Dolphin's got. Come on, Dolphin.
Hi, I'm Cloud. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
See, Barrett's a good guy. He's never been to SeaWorld. We just blow the whistle, and Mr. Dolphin will come a-running. You get the feeling this little girl has done this before.
I go up there and get ice creams on Saturday. Nobody knows. Don't tell anybody if you come back. I'll get in trouble and I won't get any more ice cream.
Okay. Alright, Mr. Dolphin. You just have to hit it twice. If you just stay where he put you the first time, it'll automatically put you up there. So don't stress yourself out. The high wind. I can't wait till we have that. That's when the game gets really good. Oh, this game is always really good. Even when it isn't. This game's like pizza. Even when it's really bad, it's still actually really good. Lame. There's a uniform in the locker. Hurry up and change. So he told us to do that. And I went over here and it wouldn't let me do that until... Yeah, just go ahead and change it. It won't let you advance until you change. Now, why would Cloud say that that's bringing back memories? I thought Cloud joined Soldier and they have a different uniform. He does. Yeah, there's... The practice that the game gives you is not really sufficient to actually help you succeed at the minigame. You just kind of have to do it. You're either going to do it or you're not. I'm not going to sing the song. Yeah. It's fine. I got it. Now Rebirth turns this minigame into like a rhythm game. It's like dance, Shinrevolution. Don't disgrace yourself. Get a good look at this, because this is what every level of Junon looks like. And it's like multiple levels of buildings this size, of like 5-6 stories tall. So when you see it on the world map, that gives you a better idea of the scale of the city. It's very large. It's almost as big as Midgar, if I had to guess. In terms of like the number of buildings and the number of people that could be in those buildings. No, we're going to go over here and save before we do anything. You never know. I mean, my electricity could go out and I could lose everything. Well, I guess I would get disconnected from my stream, but I wouldn't actually lose everything because I'm playing this on a Switch. So the battery would hold out for a little while so that I could save. Which I guess is one advantage to me playing this on a Switch. The version I am playing is a lot less modern than the one that I understand is on Steam right now, but my PC is a Mac, so I don't have the ability to play that version yet. No, it's not. I didn't do nothing. He's gonna yell at you no matter what. Like, he makes you feel like you did something wrong in the game. Like the game wanted you to do something other than what you did. I don't wanna. Basically, you're supposed to run, walk. So, D-pad, because if you use your analog sticks, he will always run. What the hell was that soldier? I've never been good at this one. I don't know. Are the points up? Well, it's so-so. Better send that soldier something. Ooh, 6 potions. If you do really bad, it says send that soldier a bomb and you get 1 grenade. Which is worth 80 gil. It's like a garbage gift. It's the booby prize. This is probably why I'm not cut out for leadership, but I would think that it would be very uncomfortable to have to watch a group of people perform directly for you. I would feel bad. Like, I would feel guilty about it. Yeah, I think he should stop that stupid horse laugh. We're not having fun anymore. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
If he wasn't so awful, I would feel bad for him, but he's terrible, so I don't. I guess that's the difference between the Turks and the rest of the Shinra people, is that I don't feel bad. Like, I don't feel any compassion for them at all. Like, when the Turks get, like, their feelings hurt, I kind of feel sort of bad for them. They've made them slightly... They're evil, but they're sympathetic. Like, the rest of the Shinra people are not sympathetic at all. They're just cartoonishly evil. Like, the kind of people who would punch a soldier in the face in front of other people. You know, those kind of people. Evil. So they've heard Sephiroth showed up and caused all kinds of trouble. And they think he's heading across the ocean, which is part of the reason we're in Junon. This is another example of, like, which one of these is the least respectful version? Like, no break. Get over here. Okay, I'm going to pull my... I can never quite remember how the layout of the buttons are on the Switch. Because I play by feel most of the time. Okay. I guess he's not supposed to move during this stage. Left turn. Alright, now you try it. I've got it. It's just going to be a matter of whether I get my X and my Y buttons mixed up with each other. He's going to show you his best move.
He's so cool.
No, I get an opportunity to go shopping, but I don't really know. I've got a decent amount of gil, decent-ish. I don't really know what it is that I need that I don't have that I'd like to spend some gil on. What you got in here? There are quite a few items kind of sprinkled throughout, and it's easy to miss things in Junon because you go up these alleys and there's like multiple places to go in the alley. We definitely need a revive materia, so I will go ahead and pony up for that. We've got one of these already. Seal, like I will go ahead and... I can't buy it yet. Sell items... what can I get rid of? How did I end up with 2 of those? I can get rid of that. And get rid of these mithril armlets. Yeah, whatever. Like, I'm gonna need it if I want to do master material later, so I might as well buy it because I'm not always going to be able to buy it, but it still pains me to buy a materia that I know I'm not going to use. Because seal, like, it's meh. I mean, it is very meh. Oh man, I like do not have any money, and I do legitimately need that and that. Well, there ain't nothing I can do. So, I mean... Is it the Bald Guy Club? In Rebirth, they do actually spell this out, but I didn't realize that it was true in the original game. Rude is hanging out with other bald guys. This is a club for bald guys. It's another one of those little things that's kind of hidden. But yeah, he does that in the new one, in Rebirth. There's actually like it's spelled out a lot more and it's a little bit more fleshed out. But I had never noticed before that actually is present in the original game. That's fun. Lady, there ain't nothing. I mean, I'm just coming through all these places to make sure I get all the items, but there's nothing I can spend any money on. I don't have any. Okay. All right, what do we got here? I do think if we go down here, this is another one of those beginner's halls. You get something down here. Like there's a materia down here, I think. Yeah. You get another enemy skill materia. So guess where that's going. Yeah. The next fight we really get into is not really somewhere that poison is relevant. It is a creature that cannot be poisoned. And if this isn't obvious, poison is a biological weapon. The spell itself is actually quite literally called bio on your spell screen. You can't use it on anything that's not alive. So a machine, something that's undead, things like that, you can't use bio on them. So that would be another reason that I don't want to waste the spell slot on having elemental bio on my weapon when I know the next fight I'm going to get in is with something that's not technically considered to be alive that can be poisoned. I think we've got another, like, street or so of shopping area. I don't remember what happens when you go talk to this guy now. What is it? The elevator's out of order for an inspection. We will come back there much, much later. There is a point where you can go back to Junon. I think it's... If you come back here after we go across this next time. So, you know, if you were to return to Junon the next couple hours after we come here from this point in the game, you can actually go down that aisle and pull an alarm and fight enemies that are way, way above your level. If you want to grind quickly, I mean, it's going to be a pain in the butt. They're going to be hard to beat, but you will get proportionally a lot of XP for this part of the game. So if you ever want to grind, that's another option. Here's the other Turks. They're not bald, so they don't get to hang out with Rude. Also, though, I don't think they realize that that's Cloud. We're gonna go ahead and save. I haven't fought anybody since the last time I slept, so there's no reason for me to stay in the inn. No, we want to save here. Ba-doom. Remember that cat I said was 18 pounds of separation anxiety? Well, either him or my 6-foot-tall husband is outside my door, and I can't figure out which based on sound. That is how insistent my cat can be. This guy decided he needed a little extra draw. So he's got hoochies at his store. And he pays the girls more than he pays himself. This is a good place to pick up any gaps in your materia collection. Unfortunately for me, I can't buy anything right now, but if I could, and I would like to pick up an extra lighting materia at some point, but I have not done that yet. I don't know what it is about what's going on with my particular playthroughs these last couple of times that is causing me to just come up short on money constantly, but it's getting a little old. I don't know why. You know what it is? It's because I'm not taking the time to level build between sections of gameplay because I'm I'm not wanting to spend the time on it. Oh, there he is, our Shinner manager. And the other 135th soldier. They're not really worth anything. I like to get them just because they're fun, but yeah, I think you only get 2 of them. Yeah, they always tell you that, and then they're gonna put you up at a Days Inn where you get little Debbies and some Folgers for breakfast. That poster is pretty badass. So he's got all the weapons that you could have bought at the last place we went because he forgot to place an order. So I guess my question is, why is this here? Like, why did they waste the programming power on that? Like, the mysteries of Final Fantasy VII. The mysteries. And we're about to go play this rhythm game. All right, it's time. It's time to play Dance Dance Shinrevolution. Whoops. Now, one trick with this particular minigame is that you don't actually want to get a perfect score on it. You want to get the B tier prize because the B tier prize is a sword. And I think the A tier prize is some kind of consumable that's not particularly great. I think we may be about to find out because I don't think I did that badly. Yeah! Here's a special bonus for you. A token of the president's kindness. Okay. I didn't do too well. I did get the Force Stealer, which is a really cool, like, purple and green sword that you get. And it's got double materia growth. Yeah, they could really be anywhere. You better have a very keen eye out for Cloud and his friends. If you really look out, you might spot them. We can't let them get in your way. We're in his capable hands. I'm sure they will be tracked down almost instantly. Slap him. Not that I particularly care for you either, Rufus, but please slap him.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him. Like, I don't feel sorry for him at all, even though he does have a very stupid laugh that he seems to enjoy using. Dismissed. Or maybe he's just a jerk. Yeah, we chose to just stay here. Yeah, I don't want to clean up. I'm just leaving. Bye. Bye. Peace out, bitches. We're taking a ship. It looks much more like a cargo ship in this game. That in Rebirth, this whole section of the game gets fleshed out a lot. A lot happens on this ship, and it's more like a cruise liner. And you're on it with tourists rather than like soldiers and sailors. Yep, I sure do. You know, I think this guy is very based. I don't know about anybody else. I don't see any lies spoken by that guy. Yuffie gets seasick easily. Yuffie's a teenager. I just want to point that out. Yuffie's only like 16, so... And that materia behind her, you're not going to be able to get to for a while. I just feel like being nice to her right now. I can't be mean to Aerith. Hey, bud. Oh, that's not any of my people. Nope, no. Now this ladder gave me all kinds of bullshit trouble last time. Okay, I got it this time. I couldn't get myself lined up right. Yeah, I'll be nice to her too. I'm a good leader. I'm nice to my team. I wish this game didn't make it quite so much fun to be mean to them sometimes. Who else have we got to go talk to? This guy will sell you drugs, watch. If you tell him something's missing, you can buy stuff from him. So if you tell him you're tired, he'll give you a little pick-me-up. It'll rejuvenate you. Fine. $250 gil to restore my HP and MP. Can't complain about that. Although I actually haven't gotten any fights since I restored the last time, so it doesn't seem, it's not really quite the deal that it seems to be. But I did want to show you that. Huh, this guy looks like he's got ants in his pants. What's his deal? It's me, Red 13, dressed like a person. I'm a little woozy, but I shouldn't get... No, there's nothing conspicuous about the way you're moving around at all. No one will know. Humans, you look weird. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but you look weird. I think you make a fine human being, too. Just fine. No notes. Let's save. I think I have to go back downstairs and then I come back up, if I recall correctly, because that guy down at the bottom is preventing me from talking to Barrett yet. And I have to go... I basically have to go, I think, and talk to Aerith, who's going to say, have you spoken to Barrett? And now it's the sort of, rigmarole that you don't really mind the first time you play, but later it's like, why am I having to go back down here and talk to this person and then have to go back up? And yeah. Hey, Cloud, did you see Barrett? I hope he's not doing anything stupid. He may be contemplating something stupid, but he looks amazing right now. His disguise is just 100. Wait do you see it? He just looks so handsome. Look, Cloud, it's Rufus. And that other guy. That I don't think I can announce quite crisply enough to feel comfortable saying the name of on a public stream. They're just having too much fun for Barrett's taste, and I can't blame them. They just don't seem like they feel bad about anything that's happening anywhere. I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't. Truly, I wouldn't. So the alarm's going off. They're saying reports of a stowaway. Stowaway sighted on board. I don't think it's us. Did they find Tifa and the others? And no, everybody else is just chill. Let's go, Cloud. Get off your spiky butt. How do I get out of this room? I think I just go toward the camera. Let's save again. And actually, I do think I need to step away for just like 2 seconds so I can go, use the little ladies' room. And we're back, and we didn't have any mishaps about like forgetting to unmute myself or forgetting to unhide my camera or anything like that. I'm getting good at this. All right. Downstairs we go, and we actually, I believe, are getting ready to go fight a boss. The unholy concoction that is in my Stanley would probably horrify most people. It's 1 can of Arizona Diet Green Tea, 1 can of ginger beer, and a little bit of orange juice to top it off. So it's like a mocktail. It's very refreshing, and it's not too sweet either. It's really good. There's just something about ginger beer and orange juice together that if you're having like allergy problems, it just opens your whole head up. So they think there's something is afoot. They think Sephiroth is on board. They would be correct. We're sticking with the crew we had. So far, that's working out great for us. I'm leaning toward, at this point, my main party being Barrett and Yuffie. That's what I think I'm going to go for. And we are going to save that limit break. Hopefully we can get all 3 of them a limit break before this is all said and done, because that would be great for that boss fight. Not if you put us all to sleep first. Yeah, we're just gonna let you be, Barrett. You are not using that limit break. These guys, not worth it. Can't I steal something from these guys? Eh. It'd probably be better if I were to sit down in my chair. That's how you end up with your legs cramped up so bad that you can't move after you've been playing for a little while. Ask me how I know. That sucks to get old. I think this is gonna kill him. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get another chance to steal from him. I don't think those guys have anything that great. Really, usually, as a good kind of rule of thumb for if you're ever not sure and you don't want to play with a strategy guide, any Shinra personnel are usually good fodder to steal from because they've almost always either got offensive items or like armor or weapons, stuff like that. Okay, now we can go get that materia, which I don't even remember what it is. Oh, it's another all. Nice, I think we have 4 of them now. Now, one materia that I would like to make sure that we have, and I guess I'm just going to give it to Aerith, even though that's really kind of less than optimal because summons make your HP go down. Okay, we want to try to go up and get this before we go around. If I recall correctly, this is a weapon for Yuffie. Yeah, that guy's dead. I'm not going to mess with him. Fight some more low stakes, low level Shinra guys. I'm just gonna use the all spells. I'm not wasting those limit breaks on them. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to. I've got plenty of ethers. That's actually something that I'm not really struggling with keeping around right now, so that's good. I wish they'd stop putting my people to sleep. No. There we go. I think Bio is probably the most powerful offensive spell we've got right now. Yeah, it's a Yuffie weapon. Kind of a cool one. It looks kind of like 2 fans. Yuffie does have cool looking weapons. You know, I had said earlier on my stream that you know, this is something that's kind of probably the biggest like piece of controversy among fans of this game is whether or not what they're seeing at this point is actually Sephiroth or whether it's an apparition being brought about by Genova. I kind of choose to believe that this is an apparition at this point. But I'd really love to know what other people think, because this is a game that the story is very, very dense, and there's a lot of ways to interpret certain things, and it doesn't baby you and it doesn't talk down to you. So you some of this stuff, the game kind of is fine to let you figure some things out on your own, that it's okay that it doesn't tell you, that you can draw your own conclusions a bit. Okay. Okay, so Barrett's mind blow. So hopefully this will, do we have Aqualung? No, we didn't end up getting to learn Aqualung, so that kind of sucks. And we're just going to throw whatever we can at her. Cloud, at this point, is not going to be terribly helpful to us, unfortunately, because the one spell I gave him is Bio, and you can't really use Bio on Jenova. She's not poisonable. I think the implication of that is that the game doesn't consider her to be a living being. This will do some damage. You fight Jenova, several different incarnations of her. This is the first of them, which is Jenova Birth. The next one we fight eventually is Jenova Life. And most of the Genovas are kind of one element. So this one is kind of the exception because she's not particularly weak to any specific element. In fact, if there's any kind of elemental bend to this particular Jenova, it's time, because she uses stop, but she uses haste on herself, stuff like that. So this one's like the time one. The next one's the water one. We fight Jenova Death later. She is fire based. And then you fight a version that's called Jenova Synthesis toward the end of the game, and she's not kind of a single element either. She's not particularly difficult. I don't recall anyway that her to be particularly difficult. But she's the last enemy you fight before you fight the big bad at the end of the game, which, if it isn't abundantly clear at this point, that last boss battle is with Sephiroth. He is the big bad of this game. There isn't a bigger bad that comes around later. I mean, unless really you kind of count Jenova, but... See if we can get Chocobo Mog to stop her. Some of the summon animations can get a little tedious if you use them a lot, because as they get more powerful, the animation gets longer. So toward the end of the game, when you start getting those like really legendary level summons, the animations are quite long. Like some of them are up to a minute long. I'm just curious. Okay, so we're a little over halfway done with her, and this has not turned out to be an insurmountable boss fight at all. Like, and it never is. It's one of those times where I kind of wish I had a point of reference for like what my HP and level are compared to other players at this stage of the game, to know like whether I should be concerned. Because I feel like I should have some level 2 materias by now, and I don't. And that's kind of giving me a little bit of a insecurity about how I'm doing. Hey, welcome! I think the last time I noticed what level I was at like level 14, 15, something like that. I feel like that seems low for this stage of the game. But I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll use Healing Wind. Seal Evil, I don't think is particularly effective against her, because I haven't been able to stop her yet. I need to play 8. I never actually have played 8. I remember that my brother had it, and I watched him start it, and I think the thing that initially turned me off about it when I was playing it when I was younger was that the magic system was so much different. But now that I've played some other RPGs and understand how that stuff works better, I'm definitely open to giving it another shot. Is there a remastered one for modern consoles, kind of like the Steam version of this, or should I get it up for like an emulator? The arm of Genova. You know, Barrett, that is an excellent question. Has he been walking around with that giant thing? How? Does he just kind of stuff her in his pocket? Like, somebody needs... That would be good. Yeah, I think I may have to look that up and try to get it for my Switch, because that's how I'm playing this. You know what? I've already explained this, so I'm not gonna go through the trouble of having the game explain that, because everybody here knows what's up. I need to get the remastered one. Then when I go to try it, when I finish one playthrough of Final Fantasy VII on stream, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing next. I've thought about doing 8. I've thought about trying to do Rebirth because it's about to come out for the Switch too. I thought about doing Tactics or maybe Crisis Core, so I don't know. Maybe a couple things. The weird thing is that this is my favorite game of all time, but I'm otherwise not very much of an RPG person. Like, my favorite genre of video games, for the most part, otherwise, is racing games. We got to a chill part of the game, too. I feel like this game is really good at balancing out the dark sections of the game with some lighter ones. Like, you get this, you know, after that last boss battle with Genova, and, you know, Costa del Sol doesn't have any high stakes enemy fights. It's, you know, nice sunny music, nice fun music. You have a couple funny moments, some kind of cute little hidden NPC stuff. I love Tactics. I actually just played the Ivalice Chronicles maybe 3-4 months ago before I got started streaming, and that actually really impressed me. That was a lot of fun. I think that there should have been some kind of prize that you could win in this game, that you could keep Barrett in the sailor suit for the rest of the game. I would have been perfectly fine with that. Game's got a kind of interesting relationship with how the characters feel about taking breaks along their journey, because Barrett in general is not typically in favor of them, you know, enjoying the surroundings when they get to a place like Costa del Sol or later the Gold Saucer. Poor little Red 13 with his hot nose. He's just not having a good time. Poor little guy. Now, am I remembering correctly that it is Rufus and who does get off this helicopter? I think it turns out to be Hojo and Scarlet, because, yeah, Rufus and Gyahaha were on the ship. Must be one impressive helicopter that it can make it all the way across the ocean like that. And I can say this in front of those present, because I know you've played through the game before. Why were they not using this helicopter when they get to Rocket Town, is having to borrow the tiny Bronco from Sid? Yep, they were right there on the ship, buddy. You're supposed to be like the most the smartest military mind on the planet in this universe, and you just let him on your ship, and we were just walking around, and you had no idea the whole time. I understand that the game has to use, a certain amount of like gatekeeping mechanic to keep you from going to areas that it doesn't want you to explore yet, but the tiny Bronco is, it's a little contrived, I think is the way I would characterize it. It's, it just doesn't feel like something realistic that would really happen in anything, really. We have no other aircraft. The most powerful corporation in the world has no other aircraft. We have to borrow this broken plane. And since Costa del Sol is a tourist town, we just kind of get the cast of characters. We get this guy who's a refugee from a detective movie, apparently. This person who's just chill with me coming down and looting their stuff. What do we suppose he's doing at this desk down here in the basement? Oh no, I'm not using Tifa. That's right. Sleeping! That's what he's doing. Okay. This very creatively named establishment. Let's go in here and see what's going on. We got Mucky on vacation from the Honeybee Inn. And we all understand why he likes it. He can walk around here scantily clad. And then right here in the middle of this touristy bar in a beach town, we have this terrible story of the human experience where this guy's selling weapons in the corner of the bar. I don't really have the money for... I'll get one... I don't really need the platinum bangle. I mean... I'll get my materia growth the old-fashioned way. I don't want to give up the slots. This is another one of those like little Easter eggs that Red 13 will play soccer with the kids with his tail. Which that's the genesis of why there's a soccer minigame involving Red 13 and Costa del Sol in Rebirth. It's a reference to that. A lot of people complained about that game, and I think there are people who complained about it who did not understand that there are portions of that game, especially some of the mini games, that I didn't even notice until I went back and started playing this, like the whole soccer ball thing, that are kind of a love letter, and they're unapologetic fan service. I think that's Johnny, by the way, speaking of Rebirth and Remake. He has a much bigger role to play in those games, and you may not notice that he's here in this game as well. Right here in Costa del Sol, even, where most of his story takes place in the other game. Johnny's a guy from Midgar that Tifa has palled around with. I think he met her through her bar that she owned. Hey Yuffie, what you doing in there? You can't get too mad at Yuffie. The girl's got hustle. She may not go about it the right way, but she's got drive, okay? Oh, I was going to say there's a really funny interaction with Barrett kind of preening in the mirror in here, and then I remember that Barrett is in my party, so we're not going to get to see that this time. Yeah, it just... he might as well at least troll them a little bit. That man over there, that's Hojo from Shinra, and that's Hojo's hose. Hey Tifa, how's it going? Go over and talk to him. What if I don't want to? He's gross. Professor Hojo, that scary man says he wants to talk to you. Oh, Hojo's right here and I'm the scary man. Okay. It certainly looks that way. Has it really been all that long? I'm not sure that's really going to offer you much of an improvement, Hojo. You would need a lot more than a tan. Okay, what's that, Hojo? Have you ever had the feeling something is calling you? Okay, so it does actually talk about, you know, that Hojo has some aware of the reunion, which is kind of a theme of our next chapter of the game, because really our quest to kind of track down Rufus is sort of dormant at this point. Sephiroth is our bigger problem, and Hojo brings up that some people who were in Soldier, who were injected with Genova cells, might feel drawn to follow something somewhere through something called the reunion effect that has to do with those Genova cells trying to join themselves back together. The ancient, like, I feel like at this point, the more I notice how many times he does it in the script of this game, I feel like Hojo is not acknowledging that she has a name on purpose to kind of dehumanize her, which is so nasty, just nasty. I want you to tell me something, Professor Hojo. I know I'm an ancient. My mother told me. Oh, you can remember her mother's name. You just can't remember her name. You know how she is. You son of a bitch, Hojo. We got about 30 minutes before I gotta log off of here and watch me some trash TV. I don't know about y'all. It's 8:30 on Sunday, which means it's T-minus 30 minutes for Euphoria. Maybe I need to put in a Walmart order and order me some popcorn before now and then. I gotta say, the stream is going very smoothly this evening. I'm not having any issues with my technology. Okay. I guess that this is the point where we're, I think we've kind of done everything we've got to do in Costa del Sol at the moment. What's this lady got? Oh. See, aren't you bored? I'm gonna give that. Isn't that good? You're just expecting too much. What a strange interaction. I was concerned that I had not interacted with that character in the past and that maybe I was missing out on something. And it turns out the answer to that question is a resounding no. I was missing out on a lot of confusion. All right. I actually do think it is about time to wrap things up because I am not going to put in a Walmart order to get popcorn. Because I had to place $35 worth of stuff and I'm not paying somebody $15 to deliver me popcorn. I'm going to go to Walmart and get it. So, in order to do that, I will need to log off. But it has been a wonderful stream. I think this has gone very well and it's only going to get better from here. So if you're watching this recorded and you'd like to tune in live, like our friend Alec227 did today, and that was our first commenter on a live stream that wasn't my husband. So thank you so much. And you all have a wonderful evening.